with us in our home, and then also to be a host for a cookout for the entire group, study exchange group that was here. There were 5 members of the group, and they all came over, and the host families had the picnic with us, and ended up being a couple dozen of us, and we cooked out and had a real laid-back, relaxing evening. And the thing I think that the girls from the team enjoyed most was an evening in the hot tub with all the kids, and that was one of the highlights of their trip, I believe. The other parts of the trip that they enjoyed most, other than just seeing the sights of Toccoa, was the ability to just be very relaxed and to do some shopping and catch up on their laundry. And it was just a very laid-back weekend. They relaxed. I think it was an enjoyment for all of us that were involved in the group study exchange. The original intention that we had, Bob, when we started, was to recognize academic achievement. We felt there was plenty of recognition for athletics, but not for academics. So we felt that we didn't want to recognize academic, their skills, but how they had used them. So we wanted to encourage more interest in academics, and we hoped that by recognizing the students who had achieved the most, it would encourage the younger students in the years to come to improve their academics as well. And we didn't want them to be recognized just among their peers in school. We wanted the whole community to be involved, so we were able from the start to involve all the civic clubs in the community. And I don't recall just how we got started with the name, the Top 5.
Well, Sam, at that time, back in 1962, we had 4 high schools in the county. We had Toccoa City Schools, the county schools, Toccoa Falls, and Whitman Street School. Because of the number of high schools, we had to come up with a number that would be fairly selective, and we just used the number 5. So we took the top 5 students from each one of the 4 high schools. And then when we had consolidation and we only had 1 high school, we decided then to go to the top 5%, and that's how we have maintained the title of this very important banquet to be the Top 5 banquet. At the banquet, what we do and have tried to do all these years is to give to the students some kind of a tangible reward and award for the work that they have done. And that, first of all, I think is exemplified by a dictionary. And the dictionary, of course, is something that they can use in the future as they proceed with their education. We also have given them a certificate, and then, of course, we have given a dinner so that there has been the public recognition for their accomplishment. So all in all, I think the program has been designed to give to those students who have been selected not only impetus to do better and to continue their efforts as they continue in their education, but also to let them know that the community recognizes and honors them for the work that they have done. Frank, you were a member of the Top 5. You were selected as a Top 5 student in 1969. Would you care to comment on what it's meant to you?
Well, sure. Bob, I remember that night and the community that came out. I even have my dictionary that was presented to me that night, and I still use it. The Top 5 was a particular thrill to me when I became a Rotarian and then became chairman of the Top 5 committee and was able to hand dictionaries out to the Top 5 students at that time. I believe it was 1981 when we started the scholarship. We gave a $100 scholarship. We raised that money by raffling tickets for $100 worth of gasoline or a car or something like that. And that has now grown to a $500 scholarship, as you know, which makes us go out and earn a lot more money. The way we do that is the barbecue and auction that we have in October. It started off at the Armory. It has outgrown the Armory. We now have it at the Elks Club. The Rotarians go out and actually cook the chicken. They serve the meal. They sell tickets. They obtain the food and condiments from the community. And it has grown to where we have over 1,000 tickets sold each year. And it has become a big event, the auction bringing in a lot of money each year. If there's any one thing that I think brings our club together, it's the auction and the work that we do shoulder to shoulder with each other. Speaking of the barbecue, let's go out and see how the barbecue pit's doing. How's the chicken cooking?
Thank you, Frank. Welcome to the Whitlock Cooking Pit. In 1988, we established this cooking pit through the Rotary Club because where we had been cooking was not sufficient enough to continue to do what we were intending to do for the top 5. Kip, if you will, fill us in on some of the cooking techniques that we have.
Well, Jerry, I don't know whether it's a technique or just dumb luck, but so far we've been able to make some mighty good chicken. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort from all the club members. Of course, every year I watch you make that special sauce of yours, and it's made a little different every year, and every year somebody tells me it's the best they've ever had. So we have an awful lot of people that cook. Last year I think we cooked a little over 1,000 chickens, and that's a real competitive issue. There's an awful lot of work that goes involved in it. Great fellowship with the folks that are here, and I think that every year we have just a little bit more fun and maybe learn a little bit at the same time. It's a challenge, but everybody fits in real well, and there's an awful lot of fellowship and good fun had while we put those chickens together. Stan, why don't you tell us a little bit about all the preparation you have to go through after we take these chickens off the pit?
Well, of course, we have to assemble all the paper goods and cups, plates, napkins, and the like. More than that, we have to get the coleslaw, applesauce, pickles, tea ready, get the line set up. And last year we served, I think, a little over 1,200 plates. But you know, I find it to be one of the most enjoyable experiences. I enjoy this more than anything in Rotary. But Harold, you've sold as many tickets as most teams, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you, Stan. It's been a joy and a pleasure to sell tickets every year. In fact, I think someone said about 81, and I have believed in this project from the very beginning up to the present time. And I've tried to sell a lot of tickets every year. In fact, I think I sold about 300 tickets this last year, as well as my memory serves me. But I believe in the project. It's a good cause. We all know that the money, the proceeds go to the scholarship fund, and a lot of young people's lives are touched with what we do. And so I believe in it, and I have applied myself in seeking to sell the tickets year in and year out.
Due to the economic conditions of the time and the betterment of our community as a whole, in 1993 our Rotary Club undertook as its project to act as the coordinating agent for having Toccoa Stevens County declared a literate community under Governor Zell Miller's Certified Literate Community Program. This was endorsed by all the members of our club, and a project was begun that has lasted more than 1 year, and we'd like to share that with you on the occasion of our 50th anniversary. Our first literacy chairman that year was one of our directors, Gordon Broom. And Gordon, we'd like to ask you if you would tell us a little bit about what we accomplished that first year.
We got off to a great start with the first meeting under your tenure. And much of that first year was spent determining the needs of Stevens County and Toccoa. And we learned a tremendous amount about the needs and how widespread they were. So after the first year, it was decided to continue it under Stan's tenure.
Let me ask you just one thing before Stan tells what we did this next year. didn't we do some surveys and so forth and get endorsements from some different agencies?
Yes, we did.